Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We all know that Vanguard guns right now are very dominant in Warzone, but ever since we saw the health update that increased the health from 250 to 300 and seriously changed up the TTK, we've seen several different Modern Warfare weapons make their way back into the meta, even into the top tier levels of the meta with certain guns. And today, I wanted to focus specifically on what I believe to be the top 5 best Modern Warfare exclusive weapons here in Warzone right now. As we go through it all today, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in Call of Duty. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. So first up, we got a weapon that I think is severely underrated right now, the Bruen. We all know the Bruen from Vanguard, obviously, for the first couple of months of Warzone Pacific was the beast. It was the best choice by a mile. I don't think many people realize that about 2 nerfs into the Bruen's life cycle, about 2 out of the 5 nerfs in, I should say, the Bruen was actually like right there neck and neck with the overall TTK. Now, sure, it doesn't have as large of a magazine in some cases, but as far as the damage goes, this and the Bruen are like 1-to-1. They are so similar to one another. And as it stands right now in the game, the Bruen actually has one of the top TTKs over range, which I feel like is pretty surprising. This thing just fries. Now, as far as the setup for this one goes, we're going for monolithic suppressor. We're going to go for the summit barrel here, largest barrel in this case, so the best control, best velocity, best range. Also going for the 60 round mags. This makes it a lot more aggressive, obviously a lot more lightweight, more AR LMG hybrid-esque. VOK 3x optic, as always, got to go ahead and throw on the T-pose reticle for that. And then either the tac laser or the commando foregrip, just depends on how comfortable you are with the given control. If you need some help, go for commando. If you're more aggressive and comfortable, go for the tac laser. Tac laser, especially on like rebirth, makes it even more aggressive. Great for that as well. Also works very well on Caldera too. This thing, it just fries, and I'm glad that it is now one of the top weapons in the game again because it's a ton of fun to use. Now, another MW gun that easily makes it onto the top 5, the MW MP5. Out of all the MW subs in the game right now, you know, you got things like the CX9, the MP7, the ISO, the Fennec. They're all solid. The MP5 to me still is the MW king though. Between its mobility, between its general TTK which through the first like 12 meters or so, still very impressive. Also, its hip fire is essentially unmatched in this game, maybe only rivaled with the PPSH from Vanguard. That hip fire build, like, it's a laser beam. It hits well up close. It moves fast. Like, it's got all the pros. Really, its only drawback is that it doesn't have 10 attachments like the Vanguard guns, but the MW MP5, still an absolute beast. Now, we're not going for an initial muzzle here like you would on most guns. Obviously, we're going to go for monolithic integral suppressor. Little 2-for-1 action here. Muzzle and barrel combination keeps you off the map. Also helps out with the velocity. We're going to go for the 5mm laser, better sprint to fire and better hip fire, so you love to see that. 45 round mags here is a must have. I guess that could also maybe be a drawback. A lot of the other SMGs have, 50, 60 round mags. 45 is pushing it in some cases, especially with 300 HP. Also going to run the collapsible stock, get a better movement speed out of that. And then lastly, we got to go for the Merc foregrip just to maximize that hip fire. You could also maybe go for the Stippy Grippy, sleight of hand if you wanted to. But to me, this is the best of all worlds. You get great hip fire, you get great mobility, and you got good ADS stats too for like that just general gunplay. It just works well for all types of close range engagements. Easily a top 5 MW gun. Another sleeper weapon, the PKM. This thing is just like the Bruen in the fact that it is severely underrated, but it packs a punch. This thing also has one of the best TTKs in all of Warzone right now, not just limited to MW guns only, but against Cold War guns, against Vanguard guns. The PKM is one of the top choices. It has been for quite some time. They never touch this gun anymore. It's sort of an afterthought, it seems like, but it's so good. Like, it actually hits like a truck. It has pretty good control. You could use this on console or PC. Sure, it's a little bit slow, but you can get past that, right? We can look past that one fact. The thing is just a beast. It's a powerhouse. So first up, we are going for monolithic suppressor as always. Extended barrel, largest barrel in this case. Going for the very unique snatch grip, better control and better ADS. Best of both worlds for an underbarrel. I mean, if that was on, all the guns, it'd be the clear and obvious choice every single day of the week. We're also going for the VOK 3x optic here. Then I honestly like the tac laser on here as well, just to make it a little bit more speedy, a little bit more aggressive, because like I said, it is slow, it is heavy. That's kind of a drawback, but you look past that and this thing, one of the top choices in the game. Again, not just limited to MW only. All right, real quick before we continue on with the best MW guns to be using right now, gotta give a quick shout out to my friends over at Scuff. You guys know Scuff is a longtime partner of the channel. I've been using Scuffs since long before I worked with them, since like MW3. I love these things. My new favorite has to be the Reflex for PS5. They're constantly restocking these. They're now customizable as well. They've got options for every generation of console, customization options for everything imaginable as well. If you ever want to pick up a controller for yourself, COD WARZONE gets you a nice little discount, and the link for that will be down in the description below. Now, I know y'all saw this one coming. The AMAX. It has the best TTK over range on COD's era right now. Sure, it's got visual recoil, so it's a little bit harder to use, but, I mean, the stats speak for themselves. This thing is one of the most powerful weapons in the entire game. Versus Cold War, versus Vanguard, Overrange, Rebirth, or Caldera, this thing is coming out on top, and you love to see it. I love the fact that an MW gun is as dominant as the AMAX is right now. It's not the highest pick rate, you know, in terms of usage, because it is harder to use than an STG or, you know, a Bruen or an XM4, but it has better damage than a lot of those guns too. Zodiac barrel, monolithic suppressor as always, going for the VOK 3x optic yet again. Just like on the MP5, the max of 45 round mag here is a must use. Then lastly, either again, the Commando foregrip if you want to make sure you got max control, or you go for the tack laser for that slightly more aggressive build with the faster ADS and the better stability. Totally comes down to preference, but at the end of the day, this thing is going to erase enemies. And then lastly, we got the HDR. I mean, this and the ZRG are probably your number 1 and number 2 choices for long range sniping now. Obviously, the car is no longer. And that said, this might be the first top 5 MW guns video I've ever done where the car was not a part of the top 5. Just something I thought of there. But the HDR, yeah, I mean, this thing is about as good as it gets when it comes to long range sniping. The thing has great velocity, can one-shot headshot anywhere, so it checks all the boxes, right, for a necessary dominant sniper. Here we're going for the monolithic suppressor, also going to go for the pro barrel. It's the largest barrel in this case. Going for the tack laser for the better ADS. ADS speed's a bit slower here versus, like, you know, the car or the Swiss, so you definitely want to have that on there. For the optic, I don't necessarily think you need one. The base sniper scope seems to work pretty well. A lot of players do like variable zoom, but I don't think that's super necessary. I'm also going to go for the Stalker Scout stock, a better ADS speed there. Then lastly, you can sort of mess around. You don't need a bipod. You could use an extended mag if you wanted to. By all means, feel free to do so. Or you could go for something like sleight of hand or focus or fully loaded. Totally comes down to what you find the most valuable there. But to me, this is sort of the go-to setup. Obviously, it comes base with a good sniper scope, so you get that extra attachment. And when it comes down to it, like I said, long-range sniping, this is one of the top choices in the game. And that being said, those are the top 5 best Modern Warfare weapons in Warzone Pacific right now. That's going to wrap things up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, each and every single day, I got you covered with all things going on in Call of Duty. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.